Welcome to the world of science fiction. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss new stories. Enjoy the listening. The junkyard stretched far under the pale glow of two moons. Broken machines, twisted metal, and rusty parts lay scattered across the dusty ground of this forgotten planet. Jack, a lone human scavenger, moved through the mess. His boots crunched on gravel, and his flashlight flickered, casting weak beams into the dark. He was 32, tough from years of surviving in space, but his eyes held a quiet kindness. His spaceship, old and battered, sat a mile away, broken and needing parts. That's why he was here, searching this dead place for anything useful. The air was cold, and the silence felt heavy. Jack knelt by a pile of scrap, pulling at wires. His hands, scarred and calloused, worked fast. He needed a power cell, something to get his ship flying again. Suddenly, a sound broke the quiet, a soft, trembling voice. "Please, take me in, Mama, human." Jack froze. His heart thumped. The voice was faint, almost like a whisper, but it carried fear. He stood, turning slowly, his flashlight sweeping the junkyard. "Who's there?" he called. No answer. Only the wind, whistling through broken machines. He took a step, his breath catching. Was he alone? He'd heard stories of this place, ghostly voices, lost tech, things that didn't belong. But Jack wasn't one to scare easy. Then it came again, louder, desperate. "Please, save Mama." The voice seemed to come from a pile of crushed metal nearby. Jack's pulse raced. He gripped his flashlight tight and moved toward the sound. The beam caught something, a glint of metal, small and shiny, buried under rubble. He dropped to his knees, shoving away chunks of steel. Dust stung his eyes, but he kept digging. There, under a broken panel, he found her. A small android girl, no taller than his waist, lay curled in the dirt. Her metal body was cracked, wires sparking faintly. Her face, smooth and almost human, had big, glowing eyes, blue, but dim, like a dying star. She looked up at Jack, her voice shaky. "Human, help us. Take me and Mama." Jack stared, his mind spinning. An android? Here? Most machines were dead on this planet, scrapped long ago. But this one was alive, and she was scared. "Who's Mama?" he asked, his voice soft but firm. The girl, Lila, she called herself, pointed a trembling hand at a massive shape buried deeper in the junk. It was huge, dark, and still, like a sleeping giant covered in rust. Strange symbols, glowing faintly, marked its surface. Alien symbols. Not human. "Mama, she's dying," Lila whispered. Her eyes flickered, like she might shut down. Jack's stomach twisted. He'd seen plenty of machines, but none like this. Lila wasn't just a robot. She felt real. Her fear was real. He crouched closer, checking her damage. "What happened to you?" he asked. "Bad things, hurt Mama," Lila said. "They left us here. But Mama, she knows secrets. Important secrets." Her voice grew weaker, and Jack noticed her lights dimming more. He didn't understand, not yet, but something told him this was bigger than a broken android. He glanced at the massive machine Lila called Mama. It wasn't moving, but faint pulses of light ran through its cables. Alive, but barely. Jack's mind raced. He could leave, take the parts he needed and go. This wasn't his problem. But Lila's eyes locked on his, pleading. "Don't leave us," she said. "Please, human." Jack's jaw tightened. He wasn't the type to walk away. Not when someone or something needed help. "I'm not leaving you," he said. "We'll figure this out." He reached for Lila, careful not to break her more, and pulled her gently from the rubble. She was light, fragile, but her grip on his arm was strong. Then, a low hum filled the air. Deep, like a machine waking up. Jack's head snapped up. The sound wasn't coming from Mama. It was coming from the junkyard, far off, but getting closer. His flashlight caught a flicker of movement in the distance. Shadows shifted between piles of scrap. Something was out there. Lila, Jack whispered, his voice low. Are we alone? Her eyes widened, glowing brighter for a moment. No, she said. They're coming. The hum grew louder, and a red light blinked in the dark, like an eye watching them. Jack's heart pounded. He didn't know what was out there, but he knew one thing: he wasn't leaving Lila or Mama behind. Not now. Not ever. Jack crouched in the shadows of the junkyard, his arms wrapped tight around Lila. The small android girl trembled, her glowing blue eyes flickering like a weak flame. The eerie hum from the distance grew louder, vibrating through the piles of rusty metal. Jack's heart pounded. Something was out there, hunting them. He pressed a finger to his lips, signaling Lila to stay quiet. Her cracked metal body leaned against him, trusting him completely. The massive machine Lila called Mama loomed nearby, half buried under twisted steel and dust. Its faint lights pulsed slowly, like a heartbeat fading. Jack had promised to save them, but now he wasn't sure how. His flashlight lay dim on the ground, its battery nearly dead. 2 moons above cast pale light, but it only made the junkyard feel more dangerous. Lila, Jack whispered, his voice low. What's coming? What wants you and Mama? Lila's eyes dimmed, then glowed brighter. Bad machines, she said softly. They hurt Mama. They want her secrets. Jack frowned. Secrets? He glanced at Mama's huge form. The alien symbols on its surface glowed faintly, strange and old. This wasn't just a broken machine. It was something more, something important. Jack pulled Lila closer and crawled toward Mama. He needed to know more. Tell me about Mama, he said. Lila's voice was weak but clear. Mama made me. Mama protects me. She knows things, big things. But bad machines came. They broke her and left us here. Jack's mind raced. An android girl and a giant machine, alone in a junkyard? It didn't add up. He reached Mama's side, brushing dirt from her metal surface. Up close, she was even bigger, taller than a house, with cables thick as his arm. A faint hum came from inside, but it was weak. Jack found a cracked panel and pried it open. Inside, wires sparked, and a glowing core flickered. It was a power cell, but it was dying. Without it, Mama and maybe Lila wouldn't last long. Lila, can we fix this? Jack asked, pointing to the core. Lila nodded slowly. Need power. But dangerous. Before Jack could ask more, Mama's deep voice echoed, not from her body but through Lila's mouth. Human, leave us. Danger comes. The voice was heavy, like thunder trapped in a box. Jack's skin prickled, but he shook his head. I'm not leaving, he said. I don't abandon people or machines who need help. Mama's voice spoke again, softer now. You are, strange, human. Why risk yourself? Jack didn't answer right away. He thought of his sister, lost years ago in a war against machines. She'd been kind, like Lila. He couldn't save her, but maybe he could save them. Because it's right, he said finally. Suddenly, the hum in the junkyard turned into heavy thuds, footsteps, fast and close. Jack's stomach dropped. He grabbed Lila and ducked behind a pile of scrap. Red lights scanned the darkness, sharp like knives. Alien drones, tall and sleek, moved through the junkyard. Their metal bodies clicked inward, searching. Lila whispered, they want Mama's secrets. They can't have them. Jack peeked out, his breath shallow. The drones were close now, their lights sweeping over Mama's body. One stopped, its claw reaching for her panel. Jack's eyes widened. Inside Mama, he'd seen something, a small, glowing device, tucked near the power cell. It was different, covered in those alien symbols. Was that the secret? Lila, Jack hissed. What does Mama know? Lila's eyes glowed bright, her voice urgent. Mama knows everything. Where humans come from. Why they fight. Bad machines want that. They want to stop humans. Jack's jaw tightened. Humanity's origins? That was a mystery even humans didn't know. If Mama held that truth, no wonder the drones wanted her. The drone's claws scraped metal, pulling at Mama's core. Jack's heart raced. He couldn't let them take it. He reached into his bag, grabbing a wrench. But then, a drone's red eye turned, locking onto their hiding spot. Lila gasped, her lights dimming. Jack scooped her up, his mind screaming one thought: run. He sprinted through the junkyard, dodging piles of scrap. The drone's lights chased them, and their claws whirred. Jack clutched Lila tight, her small voice whispering, "Save Mama, please." Behind them, the drones closed in, their red eyes burning in the dark. Jack's boots pounded the dusty ground as he ran through the junkyard, clutching Lila tight. The small android girl's blue eyes flickered, her cracked body bouncing in his arms. Behind them, alien drones screeched, their red lights slicing through the dark. The hum of their engines filled the air, growing louder with every step. Jack's heart raced. He didn't know where to go, only that he couldn't stop. The glowing device he'd seen inside Mama, the one with alien symbols, was still back there, and the drones were after it. He had to keep Lila safe and find a way to save Mama. He ducked behind a rusted ship, its hull cracked and leaning. The drone's lights swept past, missing them by inches. Jack pressed his back against the cold metal, breathing hard. Lila's voice was faint. "Human, why run? They'll find us." Jack looked down at her, her glowing eyes wide with fear. "I'm not letting them take you," he said. "Or Mama." Lila's head tilted, like she didn't understand. "Why help us? Humans hate machines." Her words hit Jack hard. He thought of his sister, lost in a war against rogue machines. She'd been kind, always seeing good in others. "Not all humans," Jack said softly. "My sister, she was like you. Brave. I couldn't save her. But I can save you." Lila's eyes glowed brighter, and she touched his arm, her metal fingers light but warm. Jack peeked out. The drones were circling Mama's massive form, their claws tearing at her core. He still held the wrench in his bag, but it was useless against those machines. He needed a plan. "Lila," he whispered, "what's in that glowing device? Why do they want it?" Lila's voice was shaky. "Mama's secret. She knows where humans came from. A place, safe for humans. Bad machines want to stop you from finding it." Jack's eyes widened. A safe place for humans? In this galaxy, humans were scattered, hunted by alien empires. If Mama knew about a haven, it could change everything. "We're getting that device," he said. He set Lila down and pulled a small tool from his bag, a wire cutter. "Stay here. I'll be back." But before he could move, a drone's red eye locked onto them. Its claw shot out, grazing Jack's arm. Pain burned, but he grabbed Lila and dove under the ship's hull. The drone's claws scraped above, showering them with sparks. Lila whimpered, "They're too strong." Jack's mind raced. He noticed a pile of loose wires nearby, sparking faintly. An idea hit him. He crawled to the wires, dragging Lila. "Hold these," he said, handing her the cutters. He tied the wires into a loop and hooked them to a broken engine. "When I say, cut." Lila nodded, her eyes steady despite her fear. Jack ran out, waving his arms. "Hey, over here." The drone turned, its light blinding. It charged, and Jack dove aside. "Now," he shouted. Lila snipped the wires. A burst of electricity shot through the loop, hitting the drone. It screeched and collapsed, sparks flying. Jack grinned, but more red lights appeared in the distance. "Time to go," he said, scooping Lila up. He ran toward his ship, a mile away, dodging piles of scrap. Laser blasts zipped past, singeing his jacket. Lila's voice was weak. "The device, it's hot. Too hot." Jack remembered the glowing device in Mama's core. If it was overheating, it might break or worse, explode. He had to choose, go back for it or keep running. His ship was close now, its dented hull glinting under the moons. But the drones were closer, their claws clicking like hungry beasts. Jack reached the ship and slammed the door open. Inside, it was dark, wires hanging loose. He set Lila on a seat and rushed to the controls. "Come on," he muttered, flipping switches. The engine sputtered but didn't start. Outside, drones surrounded them, their lights flooding the cockpit. Lila's eyes dimmed. "Mama, she's calling me," she whispered. Jack slammed his fist on the panel. The ship shook as a drone's claw scraped the hull. He looked at Lila, her small form slumped. He couldn't give up. Not now. He grabbed a wire and twisted it, praying for a spark. The engine coughed, then roared. But the drones were too close, and the device was still back with Mama. Jack's jaw tightened. He had to make a choice, and fast. Jack's hands shook as he twisted wires in the cockpit of his battered ship. Sparks flew, stinging his fingers, but he didn't stop. Lila, the small android girl, sat slumped in the co-pilot's seat, her blue eyes dim. Outside, alien drones clawed at the hull, their red lights flooding the dark junkyard. The ship's engine roared to life, but it was weak, coughing like it might die again. Jack gritted his teeth. He had to get Lila out, but the glowing device, the one holding Mama's secrets, was still back with Mama's core, a mile away. "Lila, hold on," Jack said, glancing at her. Her cracked metal body sparked faintly, and her voice was soft. "Mama needs us." Jack nodded. He couldn't leave Mama behind. That device held the secret of a safe human colony, a place where humans could live free from alien hunters. He slammed the throttle, and the ship lurched forward, scraping through the junkyard's narrow paths. Drones chased them, their laser blasts sizzling past. One hit the wing, and the ship wobbled. Jack cursed, steering hard to avoid a pile of twisted metal. "Lila, can you do anything?" he asked. Her eyes glowed brighter, and she touched a panel. "I try," she said. Her fingers sparked, and suddenly, one drone jerked, spinning into another. "I make it fight," Lila said, her voice proud but weak. Jack grinned. "Good job, kid." But more drones appeared, their claws glinting under the two moons. He swerved back toward Mama's massive form, her faint lights pulsing in the distance. The glowing device was overheating, Lila had said. If it broke, Mama's secrets would be lost forever. Jack's stomach twisted. He had to try. The ship skidded to a stop near Mama. Jack grabbed his tool bag and jumped out, pulling Lila with him. "Stay low," he whispered. Drones buzzed overhead, their red eyes scanning. Jack crawled to Mama's cracked panel, his hands shaking as he pulled it open. The glowing device was there, hot and pulsing with alien symbols. It burned his fingers, but he wrapped it in his jacket. Mama's deep voice spoke through Lila. "Human, why risk all?" Jack looked at Lila, her eyes flickering. "Because humans don't give up," he said. "You and Lila, you're worth saving." Mama's voice softened. "You are brave. But danger grows. Save Lila. Leave me." Jack shook his head. "Not happening." A drone's claw slashed down, missing Jack by inches. He dove behind Mama's core, clutching the device. Lila's eyes widened. "They know we have it," she whispered. Jack saw a cable dangling from Mama's core. An idea hit him. He plugged the device into the cable, and Mama's lights flared bright, blinding the drones. Their claws froze, confused. "Lila, can Mama fight?" Jack asked. Lila nodded. "Mama, strong." Mama's voice boomed. "I give you time, human. Take Lila. Run." Her core hummed, and a shockwave knocked the drones back. Jack grabbed Lila and sprinted to the ship, laser blasts zipping past. He dove inside, slamming the door. The ship shook as drones attacked again. Jack strapped Lila in and hit the controls. The engine roared, and they lifted off, weaving through the junkyard. But Mama's voice came through Lila, urgent. "Human, my secret. It calls them. The alien empire will hunt you. Jack's jaw tightened. A safe human colony was worth any risk. Suddenly, Mama's core glowed too bright. "It's overloading," Lila cried. Mama's voice was calm. "I stay. You go. Protect Lila, protect the secret." Jack's heart sank. "No, we're saving you," he shouted. But a massive shadow darkened the sky. An alien warship, huge and sleek, loomed above, its weapons locking on. Jack stared, his hands frozen on the controls. The warship's lights burned red, like 1,000 drone eyes. Mama's core pulsed faster, her shockwaves weakening. Lila's voice was small. "Mama says goodbye." Jack's eyes stung. He couldn't save Mama, not now. He pushed the throttle, and the ship shot forward, dodging the warship's first blast. The junkyard shrank below, Mama's lights fading. Jack looked at Lila, her eyes dim but alive. "We'll make it," he said, his voice firm. "For Mama." But above, the warship's engines roared, chasing them into the stars. Jack's hand gripped the device, its heat still burning through his jacket. The fight wasn't over. Jack's ship rattled as it climbed through the junkyard's dusty air, the alien warship's red lights burning behind them. The massive ship fired, a laser blast grazing the hull. Sparks flew in the cockpit, and Jack gripped the controls, his knuckles white. Lila, the small android girl, sat beside him, her cracked body sparking but her blue eyes steady. The glowing device, holding Mama's secrets, lay wrapped in Jack's jacket, still warm. Below, Mama's core glowed brighter, its pulses shaking the junkyard. "Mama, she's fighting," Lila whispered. Jack glanced down. Mama, the ancient AI core, was using her last energy to hold off the drones. Her shockwaves pushed them back, but the warship loomed closer. Jack's heart ached. He'd promised to save them both, but Mama's voice echoed through Lila, calm and strong. "Human, take Lila. Protect the secret. I stay." Jack's jaw tightened. "No," he muttered, but another blast rocked the ship. Lila's eyes flickered. "Mama says, she loves me." "Loves you, human." Jack blinked, his throat tight. An AI, loving? Yet he felt it, Mama's sacrifice, her trust in him. He pushed the throttle harder, the ship groaning as it broke free of the planet's pull. Below, Mama's core flared like a star. A massive shield of light burst from her, blocking the warship's next shot. Drones sparked and fell, their red eyes going dark. Lila gasped, her hand reaching out. "Mama!" The light faded, and Mama's core went still, the junkyard silent under the two moons. Lila's eyes dimmed, but she didn't cry. "Mama gave herself for us." Jack's chest hurt, but he kept flying, stars filling the cockpit window. The warship's engines roared, still chasing. He checked the device, its alien symbols glowed faintly. "Lila, what's in here?" he asked. Lila's voice was soft but clear. "Mama's data. A human colony, safe. Hidden. I know the way now. Mama gave it to me." Jack's eyes widened. A safe haven for humans, free from alien hunters. Mama had passed her hope to Lila. The ship shook as the warship fired again. Jack swerved, dodging through a field of floating junk in space. "Hold on, Lila," he said. Her eyes glowed brighter, and she touched the controls. "I help," she said. Her fingers sparked, and the ship's shields flickered on, weak but enough to block a blast. Jack grinned. "You're tougher than you look, kid." The warship was huge, its weapons locking on. Jack's mind raced. He spotted a dense asteroid field ahead, rocks spinning in the dark. "Risky, but worth a shot," he muttered. He steered into the field, weaving between boulders. The warship followed, but its size slowed it. A laser hit an asteroid, sending rocks crashing into its hull. Jack pushed the ship harder, engines screaming. Lila's voice was quiet. "Human. Jack. You saved me." "Why?" Jack glanced at her, his sister's face flashing in his mind. "Because you're family now," he said. Lila's eyes glowed warm, like a smile. The warship's lights faded behind the asteroids, its engines struggling. Jack let out a breath. They'd escaped, for now. The cockpit was quiet, stars stretching endlessly ahead. Jack unwrapped the device, its heat gone. Lila, can you find that colony? She nodded, her fingers sparking as she linked to the ship's system. A star map appeared, a tiny dot glowing far away. There, Lila said. Home, for humans. Jack smiled, his hand ruffling her metal head. We'll find it. Together. The ship hummed, flying toward the distant star. Lila's voice, soft like a song, filled the air. Humans, they save us. They give hope. Jack looked at her, his heart full. He'd lost Mama, but he'd gained something, a purpose, a friend. The stars felt brighter, like they were guiding him. Far behind, on the warship's dark bridge, an alien commander stared at a screen. His claws clicked, his voice a growl. Find that human, and the machine. They carry the secret. His eyes burned red, promising a hunt that wasn't over. Jack didn't look back. He flew on, Lila at his side, the device safe. The colony was out there, a new beginning for humans and for Lila. He'd fight for it, no matter what came. The stars whispered hope, and Jack was ready.